Hello, I'm John Calloway, and I'll be discussing the Black Hill Gold Rush. Prior to the Black Hill Gold Rush in the early days of 1800, more precisely 1840-ish, the California Gold Rush began. The California Gold Rush is where a huge portion of history and gold relations started. They mined a lot of the gold in the area, and most of that area dried up from gold. They had no more left because the gold prospects in that time uh, found all the gold, and it just became a barren land. So all those people who were involved in the California Gold Rush went back eastward in the search for more gold and the search for more wealth. In 1870, around that time, the U.S. was in a state of depression, and they were in search for some remedy to ease the depression and possibly bring more wealth to the country. So those Californians, or the people who were in California, went eastward to areas of Arizona, Colorado, or Idaho where they found gold. And a man by the name of George Armstrong Custer and a group of 1,000 explorers which also included reporters and other people, entered the land of the Native Americans that were controlled by the Sioux tribe. They settled in areas in the Black Hills near Deadwood, Custer, and Hill City. This was the settlement against the treaty placed in 1868. The treaty in 1868 was stating that the Sioux tribe had all rights to the land of the Black Hills because they were kicked out of their previous territory by Andrew Jackson earlier in history. In 1874, gold was initially discovered by that group led by George Armstrong Custer. The gold was found in the Dakota Territory, like I mentioned, that was controlled by the Sioux tribe. The explorers understood that the land was controlled by the Sioux tribe, but they settled it anyway. They did not care, and they saw wealth and went for it. The source of gold was discovered in 1876, 2 years after the initial discovery of gold, with the opening of the Homestead Mine. The Homestead Mine was the largest gold mine in North America. The gold rush established towns all throughout the Black Hills that the Sioux tribe was supposed to have supposed to have control over. So approximately 10,000 gold prospects settled in the Black Hills, causing the creation of towns such as Deadwood, Custer, and Hill City, South Dakota. All of this wealth caused the crime rate to run up very rapidly, and all of this crime continued until a sheriff was appointed, which allowed these cities to become prosperous because with the sheriff they could control the exportation of the gold into cities such as Cheyenne, Wyoming, where a lot of this gold was being sent to in order to sell. So the Sioux tribe had no choice, and they let this gold rush happen for as long as possible. The Black Hill Gold Rush lasted from 1874 to 1877, and the result of this gold rush caused many of the Sioux tribe nation, many of the citizens of the Sioux tribe to become very, very angry. And this gold rush resulted in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. And after the battle, the gold rush slowed down because the gold in the area had been mostly mined, and that Homestead mine stayed open but had a lot less gold in it. It stayed open to 2002, but after that it was closed and had no longer the the name of the biggest gold mine in North America. So that is the story of the Black Hill Gold Rush, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening.